rush.
We'll get into it eventually. They're always late. You know, they're really inconsistent about who they even are. Sometimes they even use usernames that kind of seem fake. I don't know. You have a strange audience. I'll give them that.
I think we just talk to bots. I think that's
We're just
that's all we do.
educating bots.
Are we educating anything?
Educating maybe isn't the right word, but what they do, I think, is they're sending these AI bots out to take everything in to become more human-like. And we are quite human-like. We are not a formed podcast. We're not a scripted podcast.
Fuck no.
We kind of stick to a rhythm, I guess I would say.
We have a start and an end.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So it's pretty structured, I think.
It's as structured as I need it to be.
We tried to be super structured, like, for the first few.
We did, yeah, the first couple. And then we found that we hated it.
It was a lot of work.
We really weren't having fun.
No, it was work now.
I was like, this wasn't the point of this.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make money with this.
No, God,
I'm just trying
no.
to hang out with my boy.
Just find an excuse. I was going to talk to you about before we started this. There's a Lord of the Rings, because we're also kind of a Lord of the Rings podcast. There's a Lord of the Rings movie or series coming out that looks like it's anime.
Okay.
Which cool. Looks awesome. What I wanted to bring up was the Rings of Power.
Oh.
So there's a lot of hate I've seen online for Rings of Power due to it not being like accurate to lore or books or whatever. But I got a bone to pick with you, internet. You guys are fucking frauds. Fake fans. The fakest of fucking fans I've ever fucking met, man. Because what are you talking about? Lord of the Rings doesn't follow the fucking books at all. At all. I'm reading through the Fellowship of the Ring, and you're a fucking moron if you're gonna stand on that fucking horse. And maybe you're not. Maybe you know more. Maybe you've read all the books. And what happens is Tolkien says, instead of you doing the movies in the order of how the stories are supposed to be delivered, we're gonna kind of chop some things out and put them into other places. Because I've also started watching the movie The Hobbit, which there's 3 of them for one book.
Yeah.
And immediately they move away from the fucking the lore.
We're gonna kind of do our own thing here a little bit.
And bring in some. And I'm sure that this character that's in the there's a character in the woods that's one of the other. He's one of the other wizards. He's the brown wizard. I don't remember his name. And he's got all the animals. You know.
Is it Bombadil?
Was that Tom Bombadil? That probably was Tom Bombadil, huh?
Right? Isn't it?
Yeah, that would make sense now that I'm thinking about it. But you don't find out about Tom Bombadil until Lord of the Rings. He's not in The Hobbit. He has no business being in The Hobbit at all.
Because you guys just read... Have you finished The Hobbit?
We've read The Hobbit.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a little bit of telling about what's going on around the world. But you could have fucking put that in the right movie. I don't just an idea here. So, and it's fine. You're allowed to change movies for books, and you're allowed to change everything. The art is so subjective. Nothing is sacred. Make a drag queen porno out of Lord of the Rings. I don't fucking care. I'd it's
watch
not.
That.
I'd watch. Yeah, that actually does sound fun and cool. But why? Why people are gonna stand on this fucking hill and get pissed off that this new movie that's come out or TV show doesn't follow this lore that you don't even know. You don't even know.
Who gives a fuck, dude? Rings of Power, you get to go inside of
I haven't seen it.
What?
No. So what we did was we watched the 3, right? We watched Lord of the Rings trilogy extended versions. And then we were going to watch The Hobbit. And The Hobbit was such a, I don't know, just turn off, it was just immediately ugh, this is moving away. And maybe, like I said, what they do is they're still putting all those pieces of the story in, just in different spots and still giving you that narrative. But Tom Bombadil,
yeah,
what a badass, cool. Like Morgan said, we meet God, and then they don't put God in the movie. Forgot that whole
we don't need
first
that.
half of the book.
That's too much.
No.
That's too much effort.
Even though these movies are 4 hours long.
Dude, I know.
There was so much room to be.
There's
So much. Because you remember Harry Potter, the first Harry Potter movie. I remember being, that's like,
It's like 2 hours. 219?
It's not too bad. Yeah, maybe.
I just
felt
watched
like
it recently.
I remember reading the book and going to see them. It was like one of my first book to movie experiences.
Yeah.
And feeling pretty pleased. Like, they really, the way that I read that is the way that they got that across on the screen. But, like, I just don't know. Harry Potter is a big book, I feel like. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm remembering that as a kid.
It's a solid book.
But it's about the same size as, like, The Hobbit. Or am I wrong? It's a little thinner than The Hobbit, maybe.
I don't know, dude.
And so, just if Harry Potter can do it, why can't Lord of the Rings do it? You know? And I do know that 1,000 words, which one is that? Or 1,000,000 words?
That's a million. That's a million.
Harry Potter.
170
I feel
words.
like I feel like The Hobbit's more.
I think that's the complete Harry Potter series.
No, it's not. A million words?
I'm just
I bet
reading what the internet is
about
telling me.
a million words goes into one book. But I mean,
Yeah, so Prisoner of Azkaban, as an example, has, what is that, 107?
I can't read.
107,253.
Okay. That makes sense, I guess, now that I have a frame of reference. And look up The Hobbit, then. Let's see how many words The Hobbit has.
Yeah, we can do that. You know, I have access to the internet. Anything is possible.
You just did the search for Harry Potter.
Well, I wanted to... Okay, Hobbit has 95,356. Damn.
So, yeah, Harry Potter has more.
Okay, well, damn.
And they've put more of that book into 2 hours of film. These nerds, man. They're like there's fake fans is what pisses me off.
But have you heard the score to literally just anything Lord of the Rings?
Oh, dude.
Trumps everything.
Everything.
Like, put whatever you want on screen.
I'm with you there. Star Wars is up there.
Oh. Fuck yeah, dude.
What's that guy's name that has, it's his orchestra?
Yeah, no, I know. It's, oh my God.
I would expect you of all people to know this. I've also started reading a Star Wars book.
Ooh, which one?
It's the first book, John Williams. Yep, it's the first book of the Bounty Hunter Wars, or what was it called? The Bounty Hunter something. It's about bounty hunters. It's about It's about Boba Fett. Nice. After Boba Fett, is that his name? Yeah.
Which one? Jango. So Boba is the old guy.
Yeah, Boba. No wait, Jango is the kid that becomes. So.
Right.
I'm talking about from episode 3.
You're talking. Okay.
No, actually, sorry. Episode 6 or 7. The original trilogy that Boba.
Right.
Is Boba Fett.
No, because that comes later, so that's got to be Jango Fett.
No, Boba Fett comes later.
Fuck?
Like later in the timeline, but not later in the film series.
Yeah, but Boba is the one who they cloned for the clone army.
So then Jango Fett is the one that's in the original
that
films.
He's
in the original Star Wars.
Right, but then Jango grows up and then he dons Boba's armor. And does he then assume also the name Boba?
No. I don't think so.
Or are we talking generations down now at this point?
I don't know.
It can't be.
I should do because we're reading the book right now. Boba Fett. Look him up right now.
Can I even call myself a Star Wars fan at this point?
I mean, I always think that you know more about some lore and then I bring it to you. So Boba Fett is the one that gets thrown into the Sarlacc pit.
Right, but he's also in episode 2.
Boba Fett is not. Jango Fett is.
Yeah, Jango Fett survives though because Boba gets decapitated by Mace Windu in the arena.
No, that's in episode 2. Yes,
right.
But that's late. That's at the end of episode 2. He's in the beginning of that film.
Right.
But he's not. He dies in that movie. He's not in the third movie.
I thought you were talking about the guy from like episode 6.
The guy from episode 6 is his son.
Django.
Yes.
That's what I was saying.
No, Boba Fett.
What?
Right? Isn't that what we're saying? Or maybe are you sure you don't have it mixed up and Jango Fett's the dad that gets cloned?
I'm going to be pissed, dude.
It's got to be what it is.
Oh, it is because I can literally hear the actor saying Boba. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
dad.
It was not that complicated. You just had your names mixed up. You're like, I couldn't remember their names, but I fucking guarantee it's not that.
Yeah. So anyway, if you're new here and didn't realize we're
the Dunning-Kruger Effect podcast.
Yeah, it's a podcast about NDS games
that we're ill-informed about. God damn it.
Yeah, we just hang out and talk about games we didn't play.
And this week we didn't play Lord of the Rings. Nope.
Sure didn't even touch it.
Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. Not Spirit
Phantom
Tracks.
Menace.
Phantom Hourglass.
Star Wars on the brain.
Phantom Hourglass.
And it was a double feature for the first time. Not that it mattered because, again, we didn't play either
It didn't
of them.
fucking matter at all.
But it's freshly picked Tingle's Rosy Rupeeland.
Now,
fucking stupidest.
I'd like to say in my
for game.
defense, it's not that I haven't played, that I didn't play Phantom Hourglass. I played it a little bit. I've played this game a lot in the past.
I have also played this game a lot
So,
in the past.
Let's start there. Let's start with Phantom Hourglass. We'll talk about the Rupeeland. That's
the fever dream.
Yeah, that's down
Hence
the
the
line.
tag,
We'll
yeah.
wait for us to get a little crazy until we get there.
God damn.
Touch only. Touch only.
That's not true. You can hit buttons, but they only bring up menus.
And then they don't even work in the menu. They'll pull the menu up.
Yeah, they just pull the menu up or dismiss it.
I don't feel like they're good touch controls either.
I know you hate this game.
Do you disagree that the touch controls are good?
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't actually think the touch controls are bad. You just have to know that if you're going to play this game, don't try to approach a corner. Just don't. If you're in the trajectory of a corner, you're not going to at the last second just kind of whoop around it. Just give it a wide berth and you'll be fine.
No, you won't, because the sword fighting and everything.
You just tap on everything, dude, and then draw big circles when you want to do a spin attack.
And slash through things. Draw a line through things you want to cut, like grass or something, to get
You
some
only
rupees.
need to know that mechanic.
And also
if
use
you're trying
that
to stab. Okay, that is fair. They do leverage those specific mechanics.
Yeah, right. And
fights.
It doesn't fucking work. It doesn't work. It doesn't read your slash. It doesn't put it in the right spot. It's broken. So it's already fucked.
I don't think it's that bad.
It's not. I mean, I went into it with an open minded. I swear I did.
Honest to God, I figured you would give it an honest to God retry. And I didn't think for a single second you were going to like it.
God, I want to so bad. Like, it's because it just immediately takes me back to being 15 when this game came out and wanting a fucking DS game, like a Legend of Zelda DS game.
Yeah.
And this is not that. The art style is amazing. It looks beautiful. It
really does.
Beautiful.
It's a Wind Waker clone.
And it feels great. It feels so true to form as far as the look goes.
It's done really well.
The story of Wind Waker, because this is one of the few Legend of Zeldas that has an actual sequel.
Oh yeah, like a carry through plot.
Yeah, and then it carries through again to Spirit Tracks.
Well, and even granted, it's not a direct successor, Wind Waker, and I'm comparing it to Ocarina of Time, but I know this is a hard left. Bear with me. I got to talk about it now because I'm excited. Wind Waker, towards the end, you get to drop down to the ocean floor, and you get to go through Hyrule, and then you can do the time thing, and then you're in Hyrule Castle. I think it's Hyrule Castle.
I think it is, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So fucking sick, dude. Anyway, big boners for that shit. But so it's kind of like a successor of the main plot from Ocarina of Time, not a direct
it's not directly said. I mean, you could say the same thing about like Twilight Princess because it's got the moon and the mountain. You know,
because like Majora's Mask.
Is that where the timeline splits? Is Majora's Mask?
Yeah,
or no, it's
at
not.
the
it's
end of
Ocarina of Time is where it splits, isn't it? Because you have the moon or not the moon. No,
the Majora's Mask is the moon.
You're right.
But Majora's Mask it's essentially a direct successor to the Ocarina of Time plot
Is
It's
it?
the
Yeah,
same-
you're
it's
right.
the
It is
same
a
link.
sequel to it, isn't
that
it?
is
yeah,
where
because
shit
you got turned back
branches.
to a kid. Yeah. So I guess it's not the least common thing, but
Yeah.
it's I do.
But you're right. This is well, no, because this is the same shit too. Because it's not Wind Waker 2. We did have a Wind Waker 2, but it's still like, right? No.
No. Where have you played Wind Waker 2 at?
Yeah. As soon as I said it, I was like, that ain't true.
Wind
I wish
Waker
it was.
HD remake or something for Wii
Yeah,
U. I bet.
fuck,
I
maybe.
wouldn't be surprised.
They might have some extra shit in there.
Yeah, I mean,
Either way,
it looks good, and it looks, and
It
I like that story where Zelda is a pirate chick.
oh, Tetra or Petra,
Tetra, right?
Tetra, right?
But she is also Zelda.
yeah, it's great.
And so
And that character is just funny. She's
badass.
loud mouthed and
Yeah.
just fucking beating shit up, just running straight into
And just-
shit.
it's so very much the dominant. It's the girlfriend that's like, he ordered mozzarella sticks, not French fries with his burger.
Yeah, like,
and
what?
like he's
No,
like,
don't say anything.
yeah, that is 100% their.
That's so fucking funny. Their dynamic, yeah.
How did you feel going into the what do they call that place? It's like where it hurts you to be in there.
The temple.
The temple.
I can't remember what it's called now. Well, okay. So when I first played this game, it was years ago, shortly after we moved here.
Right. That's about 10 years ago.
Yeah, legitimately, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I fucking loved this game, and I played the absolute shit on it, of it. But I think I played it on your 3DS, maybe.
Yeah.
And so, bigger screen, much bigger screen, much more responsive. I had a blast. I loved this game. I thought it was great. I didn't play much farther past than the first temple. I'm going to be honest. This run through.
You say first temple. There's the one temple.
Like on the tutorial island?
The temple that has the
The floor you were talking about where
Yeah,
it just drains
yeah.
your shit.
You keep going back to that same temple.
Yeah, you keep going back.
You just keep going.
Time, I should say.
Yeah, and
My first run
that's
through.
what kills me. I think the most about this game is that it's the same. You have to go over the same thing you've done every time.
I think I know why that happened. I'm assuming it's a resource.
It's to make the
saver.
game last longer.
Well, no, it's a pretty open world, and the environments are pretty dense, and like we discussed, it looks beautiful. The environments feel large, but it's not a crazy huge place, and a lot of the places keep getting reused with different, like, oh, this shit's happening here again, and we got to go do this thing, and it's kind of similar. Puzzles are totally different, but it's the same-ish place. And,
Yeah.
so that temple just
And
keeps
that
getting
just
bigger.
it's
and,
samey.
Yeah.
And I can't. I don't know. It kills me.
Yeah.
And then you get to the boating part, which is one of the best parts about Wind Waker.
Oh yeah, dude. Wind Waker. Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
So
So much fun.
the boating on this one is not open.
It's
Why not just give me direction? You could have even kept it where I am using the touchscreen to control the boat.
yeah.
But so what you get is you get this at the beginning. You get a charter map, and you draw your charter of where you're taking your boat to. And along the way, you can kind of change your route.
I mean, you can like stop, and you can jump, and you can like eventually when you get bombs, you can use a cannon.
But you're not controlling the trajectory of the boat. And that
Yeah.
just irks me so bad because, like you said, it's an open world game. Give me the open world boat on that.
I mean, you can still go anywhere.
Yeah, you can. You are right. That is true.
You just have to draw the plot in the graph and.
Which is sailor-like.
Yeah, I guess.
My-
I get why they did it.
If this was my
But I
first
don't disagree.
playthrough, I might be more positive about it because
That's
it does
fair.
introduce such a cool way to use the DS. One might argue, like me, it's rather gimmicky.
Oh, I fucking hate microphones.
You know,
I hate the fucking DS microphone, and I hate games that require that you use it.
At
because
least
I
with this
only come
one-
across those things when I'm like laying in bed next to someone.
you know what you do, Ed? This is the only way I ever do it in any game that we play on the DS. That where you're supposed to blow on it. Yeah.
I could not get the blowing to work.
That sucks.
Mm-hmm. I'd have to get it real close and go. And I may as well just go like, ah!
Yeah,
You know,
really.
like-
Yeah, that's more terrifying than anything.
There's my first peak for the night, probably.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing,
Hell
actually.
yeah.
But then there's the one where you have, I don't know, maybe it's a treasure map or something, and you need to move part of the map to the bottom screen.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the only way to move things on the map is to use your touch screen. Like we said, there's no touch controls. You can only use the touch screen. So what happens is you get frustrated.
A little
and
bit.
You close your DS and you walk away. And you come back later and you've solved the puzzle. So there's a few things to take away from that.
Oh, that did
Number
not
one being,
happened to me.
we expect you to get so frustrated and not be able to figure this out that you're going to give up, right? I mean,
Oh,
I feel like there could have been
I know
a better
exactly
way.
what you're talking about because that's the
Because
puzzle.
clamp,
You have to close.
you have to
the
close it to
clamshell.
get the thing
And that's
down
how
to
you
the
move it to
bottom
the
of
bottom.
the screen,
I forgot about that.
which is kind of funny and smart, but also not. You know, if the internet didn't exist to kind of explain it to you, what happens is you close it, you come back, it's fixed.
As long as you're not just like rage quitting and shutting it off.
Sure. Yeah. And you come back and you've solved it and you're like, what the fuck? What if you don't get it? What if the connection isn't drawn there? And then when it comes up later on in the game and you actually need it, you don't fucking know what to do because it didn't explain this to you at all. I understand not being too hand-holdy, but that's, I don't know. Part of me is like, oh, that's a smart design. And there's another part of me that's like, that's the opposite of anything that you're like, the way that you're supposed to teach game mechanic. Yeah.
It is pretty clever. I don't know. I don't remember struggling with it. I do remember it, but I don't remember struggling with that concept when I played it through the first time. Again, that was a while ago. But
see, and I like I said, the first time around, I think I really enjoyed that. Like, that was one of the redeeming factors of the game to me. But as you come back later on and play it, you're just like, oh, this is just a demo for the new handheld to show people what all you can do with it. How this isn't just a gimmick. You can use it in games, even if it's kind of gimmicky.
it is kind of gimmicky.
You know?
And I will say the game. I think it is a good game. I think it is not something I had the time or patience for.
I was about to say, if you thought it was such a good game, then why didn't you play it?
Yeah, I fucking hated it. It was killing me, dude. I kept running into corners and shit. Fucking yeah. Anyway,
It's not even. I did find too this week there is a fan-made game. I'm assuming for GBC or GBA, probably GBC, and it's been ported through to like DS and all that. And it is a Oracle of Time, is what it's called. Because you have Oracle of Seasons,
Yes.
Oracle of Ages,
Yes.
and Oracle of... Was it Time? Or was it...
I don't think there was a third one.
So there was originally supposed to be a third one.
Oh.
So you would play one of them... Because remember, if you played... There's some way where you could like connect your games, right?
Yeah,
you played
so
this
you can
one-
basically carry a seed over
Yeah.
between seasons and ages.
Through the trading cable or something like that.
I don't think it was a requirement. I think you could. There was something that you could do with that, but I think as long as you had basically, fuck, how did that work?
How would that work? So, anyways, those two games were supposed to have a third game.
I think it would just give you a code,
and
and
yeah,
then you could type that code in at the beginning
Right,
of the
that
save
makes
file
sense,
on
yeah.
the other. Yeah.
So the third, there was supposed to be a third game that would be the sequel. The brings them in, because think about it, it's
Oh, it's a triangle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 3D. I fucking fuck with that, dude.
So
Ooh.
it's crazy to me to kind of think like, what you could have done is you could have taken that game, bundled it with the Oracle games, Release that as your Nintendo DS, or just somewhere along the lines.
I mean, they could do it right now for Switch.
You could do it right now for
just
Switch.
Remaster all three.
All three. Don't even remaster it. Just give us all three together.
Just upscale the graphics.
You say,
I don't need. Yeah, I don't want an overhaul. Just upscale. Yeah,
2.5. Is that what they're calling that?
Whatever the fuck.
The new thing they're doing.
Don't fuck with the gameplay. Leave everything exactly as it is. Just make the graphics sharper.
Just give me an HD upscale.
Yeah,
like I don't even
make it so
redo
the
the
pixels
graphics.
stretch and can format correctly.
Yes,
like,
that's a good ask. There's the Dragon Quest III game coming out.
Yeah,
the remake, and they use the same kind of graphics as
it's like Octopath.
Octopath.
Yeah, I saw that, dude.
I like it. I don't know
it
what.
Is beautiful.
I don't know what other step you would take, right, for trying to keep it pixel but keep it but upgrade it.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
have you seen the new Zelda kind of touch on that HD retro?
Yes, yeah. I think we talked about that in our last episode, and that's another one where I'm like, I don't know.
It's such an interesting.
I don't know how to feel. I don't think I like it, but I also don't know. I see where you're going.
Yeah.
I see where this art form is advancing into this art form. I see why it's leading into that. I just don't know if it's what I wanted, but I also don't know where else it would go. You get what I'm saying?
I feel that way about pretty much anything that I'm a big fan of. I'm like, I like the new installment because it's an installment and I like that thing. It's not specifically what I wanted, but I'm thankful for content.
I think that's a sign of a fear of change. So I'm always trying to be accepting to it. All right, let's see it. Because I do like Octopath Traveler. I imagine I'll pick up Dragon Quest III Remake. And it does look good. I like that they seem to use less bloom lighting, and I think that's what I didn't like about Octopath.
There was so much
bloom lighting.
Holy
just give me
shit.
the pixels. We'll be fine. It was just kind of
in your face.
And it was sparkling, but also muddied by the glow.
It's a beautiful game. They both are.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like that's what's been the difference between, because I've seen the trailers for the Dragon Quest remake, and I think I like it, and that's kind of what's made me turn around, because I liked Octopath Traveler, and then I feel like there's been a couple other games that have done it, and I'm like, oh, as long as they don't overdo it,
sure.
I think I'm fine with it. What I would like to see is that style of graphics used for a 2D side-scrolling game like Ninja Gaiden.
Ooh.
Because you know how they do such a good job of layering?
Yeah, dude. I know exactly what you're talking about. That could be fucking cool.
That's what
I would fuck with that.
Because that's what they kind of did with the 3DS. When the game was really good with the 3D, it was the background. You turn the thing up just a little because it wasn't going to be doing anything too crazy. And then it gave that nice level
layer
of depth.
Yeah, dude. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's what I would like to see. That they just try it out. See,
give it a whirl.
Instead of being all these top-down games, let's try it from another perspective. They'd Crash Bandicoot, when it was in production, they called the way that because if you think about it, Crash Bandicoot is a 2D platformer, but you're seeing it from a backward angle rather than from the side. And so they called it Sonic's ass.
Sonic's ass.
That's what they refer to the perspective as, just because you're behind Sonic's ass and going through, because it feels like such a 3D game, but you're almost always going either this way or this way across the levels.
Yeah. Oh, that's so weird. That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
The more you know.
The more you know. Weird. I never realized that. I just always thought of, wow.
I mean, I could be wrong. I'm sure someone could say that since you can run forward, left, back, and right, maybe you are in a 3D plane, but the camera is not in a 3D. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, I do.
Perspective-wise.
My brain hurts, but I'm with you.
Oh, you want a brain hurt one?
Okay, hit me.
So, sound is time.
Okay.
So if you were to say I really like the sound of that. I saw a video about this guy. He's a recording studio person, and the drummer really liked the sound of the click track. That keeps him on beat. And they were talking about something about it came up, and he was like, "Well, Yeah, I can send you the file because it's just a sine wave that's like slowed down to a certain point to make that tone. And then it goes into this whole long thing about like the first sound ever was Big Bang. You know, we didn't have any sound because there was no time.
Right.
And then time starts and
then
sound
boom,
starts.
Now you have sound. Oh, that's interesting. I like that.
Yeah, and like sounds don't have like they have like beginnings and ends, but also they can have a loop. Yeah, it's a really interesting. Yeah. I'm not nearly smart enough to explain
Pocket Cast. We are a trans-dimensional fucking theoretical space exploring.
Are we?
No.
Get it?
Are we?
Theoretical.
NDS podcast.
Is there more that we should cover on
on Phantom Hourglass. On handheld Wind Waker.
God, it's so crazy because it's still so highly ranked on Metacritic and everything. And now, mind you, Metacritic is probably not the best thing to go off of, and I should stop using it because I understand that
Get blasted.
You're just using it's just review sites. It just takes all of the review sites and averages them. And sometimes the critics are fucking wrong. And it's also grabbing this from, 20 years ago, less than that. No, I don't know.
Whatever.
So about 20. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I bet we're at the point now where the DS has been out for 20 years. Yeah.
Ow. Okay. Well, that sucks. Jesus.
No, it's all right because now we can legitimately call ourselves a retro podcast. I was always expecting to get some kind of flack for people like that's not retro.
20 years, that feels retro.
That's definitely. Yeah, I think that's around retro.
That sucks, dude. Our childhood.
So then, what do you call Atari?
Retro.
I feel like there should be another word. Like as time goes on, and retro is, there should be like versions of retro. Like that's like the poly retro era, and this is the pre-retro era, and this is the blah blah blah.
I think it's just all retro. After a certain point.
But it's so funny because like there is a retro gaming podcast out there that would hate to be lined up right next to us. They'd be like, that's not fucking retro. That came out when I was 35 and had 2 kids and a mortgage and da. That's not fucking retro. But it's like, well, dude, you're fucking 60 now. So kind of is.
Yeah. I think as generations continue, that the time between becomes exponentially shorter, right? Because between when something
nostalgia and not.
Yeah, right, because I think generally, you look back far enough and the rule of thumb is generational, right?
Every 10 years is when
just every generation. Well, almost more lifespan-y, right? Because shit's not changing. Like when you're building log cabins and shit and fighting off bears, it's like that for a while. And then, it might be a lifespan before people are like, oh, hey, look,
bear traps.
These rocks are harder than other rocks, and we can do shit with that. And then, we have guns. Whatever. I don't fucking know.
Sure.
Yeah. But, like, now it's like, oh, super insane creature comforts. It's wild. Life is mediocre, but technology is just boom. The technology
Vaporwave.
Boom. What?
Vaporwave. If you think about it, if I played a Vaporwave song for you right now from the Macintosh Plus album,
hell yeah,
you would go, man, this gets me nostalgic for like when we first moved here, which would be about 10 years ago. And you might argue that 10 years is too short for something to be retro or nostalgic. But it fucking doesn't change the fact that, and also a very funny thing, since I brought Vaporwave into it.
Yeah.
Vaporwave was made to be nostalgic for an era that didn't actually exist. Like it was this nostalgic sound for people. Like it gave you a nostalgic feeling, even though it had no reason to give you nostalgia. Do you get what I'm saying? That was kind of
interesting.
That was kind of a descriptor for the genre.
What?
There's a lot of weird descriptors for Vaporwave is a fucking iceberg to get into.
I love I love some Vaporwave.
Yeah, and Vaporwave has changed over the years a lot.
I was gonna say I am nostalgic for some certain types.
Some types of it. Yes, the aesthetic for sure. we have back rooms from vaporwave. If you think about it, like I think back the whole back rooms meme thing that you like, that's 100% thanks to vaporwave.
I'm gonna be honest. I actually don't know what the backrooms meme is.
Oh, really? So backrooms is like these people make these videos, and there's been some video games people have made now. I think it probably came from like creepypasta.
Okay.
Where someone was going into a hotel and they get turned around and they're in this like really big weird room, like hallways just filled with like convention rooms.
Oh, then yes.
There's
okay. So I'm
nobody
familiar with the
around.
concept of the back room.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's just what I'm saying. Like just that whole becoming like, it's like there's videos all over TikTok for it.
Sure, I
There's
got you.
video games based on the back rooms now.
Yeah.
And that I feel like comes from the aesthetic photos of vaporwave.
Interesting. Yeah. No. I kind of. I
Before
think
I
I know what you're
lose
talking about.
track on this,
Yeah, please.
the wild thing that I was going to say about that, so it being a nostalgic thing, like a false nostalgia, is that people are now actually nostalgic for this thing that was false nostalgia, because now it is truly nostalgic.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, baby. I love vaporwave. We could talk about
Scooch in
vaporwave
here.
for hours, but we're not. We're going to talk about fucking...
We're actually going to talk about something totally
What
different.
is this game called?
We're talking about a different game now because
Tingles?
you got. No, sorry, I'm derailing.
Oh, okay.
You wanted me to talk vaporwave. We're talking vaporwave.
Yeah, I
for
love
another
it.
Second.
Let's do it, yeah.
So there's another game that you need to play. I think it's called Hookshot.
I have seen you play Hookshot.
Dude,
Do you remember what was cooler than Hookshot?
was it that other
Velvet Swing? Is that what it was called? Velvet
Velvet swing?
Roulette Swing.
Velvet,
Was that it, right? Was it Swing?
Violet swing?
It was like Velvet or
That was
Roulette.
like I think
I feel like
that was the
Roulette
one that we played at your
at the
lake
cabin.
house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Very sick. Yes.
That is the vaporwave.
That is for
It's
sure
got the fucking like
vaporwave.
the head, you know,
It's
the
got all the fucked up
statue, the
textures and
Michelangelo,
shit. Yeah.
and the pink and the purple. Because I see what you're saying, Hookshot ish.
I mean, it's got an EDM, beat track and
But that's so far from
the trippy digital shit.
yeah.
But like,
and I
that's-
see what you're
that's about
saying.
it.
It reminds me of Surf Kitsune. There's
the surf map.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Kitsune. What a
Which
Kitsune 2.
I guess that's kind of a vapor, but it's its own.
There are straight like themed vaporwave tracks, or like surf maps for sure. I kind of. I don't think
Neon.
so. Neon for sure. It's got like
There's
the
a-
dark.
There's
and
a
like
theme.
The
There's a
bright
like word
neon.
I would use to describe it, because you do see that in.
Yeah.
You see that pink grid, that neon pink grid, in a lot of vaporwave stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm with you where I wouldn't consider that vaporwave. It's probably some subgenre of
I
vaporwave.
would consider that map to be heavily nostalgic, though.
Kitsune. Oh yeah. Yes, I would.
Or
too.
just CS surfing in general, honestly.
It's so funny because that's less than 10 years ago. Even that's
That's true.
16.
Officially, do they have that out for the new Counter Strike? What is that?
I believe so.
CS:GO 2?
Yes, I've barely played the new Counter Strike.
I have zero time into it, honestly. All of my hours on that title are carryover from Counter Strike 2,
one.
CS2,
Wait,
CS:GO,
go. Yeah.
CS:GO. Jesus
Go.
Christ!
Yep.
Not Counter Strike 2, not Counter Strike. Counter Strike Go.
There's a lot of Counter Strikes.
Oh.
So now can we talk about
Yes, we can talk about the other actual game that we were supposed to play but didn't. Instead
Tingle's-
of the game that I've put thousands of hours into.
Tingle's Rupeeland? Wait, am I saying
It's freshly picked Tingle's Rosy Rupeeland. That's the game right there.
It is
Weird.
weird. It's very sexually charged.
Dude, Pinkle? The fucking...
Yeah, dude, you're like sexy.
Did you have sound on?
No.
Aw. She should have had sound on.
Is she just like half moaning through her?
Yeah, the whole time.
It's just like,
Yeah, she just... Yeah, the whole time every time you she's like
She's
in your computer screen, and she's how you talk to her to save and shit.
And
like,
she is a fairy looking. If you've played Legend of Zelda, I want you to think of kind of like the Great Fairy,
Don't do the Great Fairies like that.
But then like shrink her down and make her. It's like the Great Fairy mixed with a Tinkle. Like with Tingle, the character that's in. He's in Majora's Mask. Is he in Ocarina of Time?
I don't. Fuck.
I don't think he
so.
was. I think he was just out in the Majora's Mask. And just for the tiniest little bit, too.
Yeah, he's definitely not in all of the titles.
And it's wild how he is just like. Because he has 2 games. This isn't his only game. He has 2 games.
Is that it? I thought he had even more than that.
He might, I guess.
I think Japan only has a few Tingle titles.
They fucking love Tingle, I guess.
Yeah, I think they do.
Which is, Tingle is a man that wants to be a fairy, right?
Yes,
And
but no fairy. Well, he doesn't want to be a fairy. I don't think.
Or he wanted a fairy.
Right? Yeah, I think he wanted a fairy.
I can't.
But then he is a self-proclaimed fairy.
Because he never had a fairy.
Perhaps. I don't remember. He's a fucking weirdo, dude. He's in his mid-30s, life crisis, shit going on, and he can't fly, obviously. He dresses like a miniature doped-up Link, and...
He looks like a Pikmin,
actually. Yeah, he looks like... Actually, that's a really good description. He looks like a fucking Pikmin. Yeah. And he floats around in a hot air balloon. It's actually not a hot air balloon. It's just multiple balloons.
Isn't it?
It depends. Sometimes he's got multiple. Sometimes it's just the one.
It's a... What kind of... It's just like a crafting... It's like a Harvest Moon game, really, without...
I guess.
It's Adelier Annie is what this game is.
Yeah,
because it's like a crafting game. Because you don't really farm. You kind of...
It's super weird, right? Because like the whole point is to raise rupees. But then like literally everything you do also costs rupees. And I don't mean like you have to buy shit. Yeah, and rupees are your life. You hit 0, bye-bye. So you have to collect rupees, which I have to say off the fucking rip, because it gives you a starter wallet with 300 maybe.
Yeah, maybe 100.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's not a lot, but you also don't know how much is a lot yet.
Yeah.
You have to raise what, $1 million? Wasn't it?
I
think it was $1 million rupees. And then I finally watched a speed run, and you literally just have to like do a couple of gameplay loops of like killing a few mobs, crafting one item, selling it because you only have one bottle to hold a crafted item. But like literally just to get in town, you have to bribe the guard, which costs rupees, and then every shop owner won't fucking talk to you unless you give him rupees. The little kid has a quest but won't give it to you until you give her fucking rupees, dude. Like, what the fuck?
It was a fucking backwards game, dude.
It was, I'll be honest, I watched the speed run, and like somehow I watched this guy do the exact same shit that I did and then somehow get into a dungeon. And I was like, I've been there, I've tried everything. That did not happen for me, and I was stuck. I couldn't figure out where to go. But
it could have been an anti-piracy thing,
which we weren't doing.
No,
what?
Why would that happen?
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, the rest of the game did look kind of fun. There's some puzzles. There's some dungeony shit going on. And then you're gonna hate this. The pond ends up being a tower that's sunken into the ground. And so once you donate enough rupees into the magical wish pond, it rises out of the ground, and that's your new dungeon, and it just keeps rising, and you keep going. Yeah. So,
well, glad I didn't make it that far. I guess I did enjoy just the weirdness of it. It was such a
so weird,
unique game. It's so like part of me too was like, it feels like this game was a different game, and then they reskinned it to be this game. But at the same time, there's nothing like there's nothing in the world that this is like. I mean, it's like it is very similar to a Harvest Moon, Rune Factory, Stardew Valley-esque.
In a shallow sense,
but
I think in terms of like the overall structure, I think that's a different or a decent application, but like or comparison, But
immediately, like, just from the fact that it's it's a very bare bones game, and you can just feel it the moment that you're going from screen to screen, and it's too big for the DS. Did you ever feel like that? Did you feel like they didn't format it right?
There was something going on there. Yeah, because especially like when you would do like a screen change, and like your map would just like, It was weird actually.
Yeah,
Now that you mentioned that.
Yeah, I was just like, it just feels too zoomed in on the background or something. Which I also this is another. I'm not gonna say it's a beautiful game. It reminded me of WarioWare's hand. Like,
I was literally gonna make a Wario Land ish reference or something.
yeah, like that's like it's.
This is definitely
fun.
the
It's
Wario
detailed
version
drawing.
of a game in the Link saga.
Yes, 100%.
100%. Because
Totally.
it's super kooky and off the wall, and there's some bizarre humor. It doesn't take itself very seriously. Really wanted to if I could have figured it out, that was going to be the title I was going to put time into. This period, but I legitimately was missing something. I could not figure out how the fuck to
connect
get into the dungeon.
Yeah.
And so there was fuck all to do if you didn't go in there. So.
Yeah. There's just like, you
whatever.
can sell stuff to the people at the market, right? Like,
yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah. And I guess I could have done that long enough and donated more money. But there was also no indicator that once you donated a certain point, something would happen.
Yeah, no, it was.
I figured there would be milestones along the way, but whatever. I don't know. It didn't help that I also tried to cook without recipes to make more money, and then
just
made
fucked up
dog
stuff.
shit, and then just crafted all my resources into.
I pretty well. I started seeing all the crafting stuff, and I was just like, no, this isn't
good.
for me. I'm all right.
Yeah,
It took me a long time to get this game to run too.
Yeah, you were telling me that you were having some fucking
I had
troubles.
a lot of issues with it.
I didn't have any problems, dude.
So
Booted
good
right
for you,
up.
Nintendo. You're good at what you do. No one can deny you of that.
Dude, my entire not my entire YouTube Shorts feed is completely chock full of N64 Ocarina of Time speedruns and crazy tips and tricks and glitches and hacks and whatever. But then also, I've just started recently getting all of these fan-made remakes or expansions or full-on games, and these various trials that are built on the same N64 platform system. And they reuse a lot of assets and then handcraft some of their own, and so they'll just remake stuff or just create brand new experiences in that universe. And some of them look fucking cool, dude.
I was watching some I think it was a Half-Life. I didn't realize how many games that in Half-Life 1 Gold Source, I guess, people have just straight up made. It's not even it's Half-Life. It's using Half-Life, but it's not a continuation of Half-Life. It's not. It's just its own game that uses Half-Life.
Right.
Prospect, whatever that one game is. But that's in the universe.
Yeah, it happens
but these
in
are
the universe.
their own,
it's its own story, though.
These are their own stories, not even in that universe. And
I love
they
those
look
games,
so
dude.
good. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've never seen them for the N64, but I mean, I've been looking at, and I think I'm kind of at fault for your feed being like this. If you would check your Discord, I sent you a list of all the homebrew games.
You did.
And then I also sent just individual games I'd found.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
That's where I'd found that Oracle of whatever it
Oracle
is.
of Time or whatever. Yeah.
The homebrew scene is so cool. It's just it's a whole nother world of gaming that you just don't even think about.
Well, that's the thing too, right? We were talking earlier, or at least I was talking earlier, about how much new things will come out, and I'm like, it's not what I wanted, but I like that those games. I like the Legend of Zelda games, whatever. But then you've got people about our age grew up on the same games.
I know what you
also want the
I
same
also
thing. And they're
want
like, I'm gonna make this game. Fuck yeah, dude.
I haven't checked it out too much. There's something that just came out called Sky Oblivion. I believe it uses Oblivion. I don't know if it's just the quality of life updates from Skyrim. I mean, it looks beautiful. It's a huge overhaul. It took them years, and they just completed it. And
official or fan made?
Fan made. I mean, it's all
Yeah.
fan made. Yeah, they don't put Elder. No. What's the name of that company? Bethesda. They don't fucking put shit out.
No.
So
they don't make good games.
No.
Fans make good Bethesda games.
No,
that's not true. Sorry, New Vegas is great.
That game looks really sick though.
Wait, did Bethesda? Yeah, Bethesda did. right?
Yeah, but I'm curious. You say that, and I'm so curious too. Is that because a lot of times when you start watching these videos about where this game originates from, it usually originates from a mod for a game.
Yeah.
You know, like Left 4 Dead 2 or Left 4 Dead 1. They're both were originally like based off of mods built for Counter-Strike,
Right.
and then the Valve picked up that team and had them make a game for them.
That's right. I forgot
So I
forgot
wouldn't
that's how
be
that went down.
surprised if New Vegas, because New Vegas is like leagues beyond the rest of the Fallout, the 3D Fallout series at least. I don't know. That's just what I
don't
hear from the
disagree.
fan base. You know.
Well, like Fallout 3 was really good. I thought New Vegas is insanely good. And then I want to say like that dev team went on to make under a different studio, Outer Worlds,
Yes,
right?
they did. Yeah,
and that was also pretty good.
That's one I never played that I always wanted to.
I didn't finish it. I have it. I need to never do that. But
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Whatever.
My
I
backlog
enjoyed what
is
I played of it.
huge.
yeah, dude, it's so many games, so little time. Life, like,
And then we do this too, where we let's play this game too on top of it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, why don't we ever play our NDS games for the podcast that we do?
Because I also have been playing Oblivion. Oh, so much, dude. It's just like I'm loving my Oblivion playthrough. I started playing Legend of Zelda.
the original.
We had talked about a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Not the original, sorry, Ocarina of Time.
Okay, hell yeah.
We had talked about how you had that GameCube game, the Master Quest one.
Yeah.
You're wrong. It does not have the HD it's not an HD remake. You can't switch between HD.
There was a like a collection disc that had.
No, and I have the collection one. You can't do it on the collection one either.
What do you mean?
I'll grab the collection disc and put that in and see if you can.
You mean in terms of the one that would let you toggle before or between retro or like the original N64 and the HD remake?
Yeah. I think you're full of shit, but I'll throw that one in and find out.
I saw that somewhere. It had to be like a Switch release though.
Yeah, maybe that would make more sense.
Um,
That'd make a lot more sense, but I don't think Ocarina of Time is on the Switch.
yeah, I don't think so either.
It might be because they did put out the N64 emulator on the Switch if you pay extra for your online subscription. That's how you can play GBA.
Oh, is that a premium feature now?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So you can still play GBA or GBC and regular Game Boy games,
That's
as well
bullshit.
as Super Nintendo and Nintendo games.
How much is the subscription?
For the, I don't
You know?
know. I don't feel like it's worth it. At least for me, I'm not a big N64 person, so like until you get a GameCube emulator on there, I'm not.
Yeah,
intrigued.
honestly,
And then at
put a
that
GameCube
point,
emulator on there. Hell
I've
yeah.
seen that you can kind of mod a GameCube a little bit, and I'm considering doing that.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
That'd be, dude. GameCube, honest to God, hands down, one of my favorite fucking consoles, man.
And for me, it's a console that and I'm sure you're the similar boat as me, where you had such a limited option. Like, the games that you had were the games that you had, and every now and again you get another game. And I also wasn't getting the best games for the system. I didn't know what was.
Well, like when you're a kid, you're just like that. The art in that magazine looked so cool when I looked at it. In my friend's
but I mean,
hands,
GameCube
like,
is not even. I mean, we're teens.
Yeah,
Almost. We're like 12 when that comes out. So,
that's true.
Like, either way though, now you look back and you've got all the definitive lists of here's the best games to play, and you're like, I didn't even know that game was on. I wish
Yeah,
I
I've
would have
never heard of
known
that
that game
franchise,
was there. Yeah. And so like that's what really makes you want to go back and play through the GameCube's library. It is.
Oh, for sure. Dude,
And it's honestly, they still look so good. I just
They
got a port for it, so it goes into my HDMI.
Hell yeah.
So I think it upscales it a little bit too.
Fuck
Even if
yeah.
it does, and I don't know if it does or if it just makes it like fit. Upscaling just means it fits on the screen, right?
I think so.
So yeah,
Well,
it just
I think so.
upscaled it, and it looks so good still. I mean, it's so many games are like, damn, this is awesome. It's like looks way better than I think a PS2 game would.
Yeah, I don't like PS2 graphics. Typically, didn't really age that well.
But man, Killzone looked sick when it came out.
Yeah.
I will give them that. They did
Yeah, it
look at the
did.
time. They looked leagues above. I mean,
Oh.
and then you've got Shadow of Colossus.
Shadow. Oh man, I never played it. I've seen some gameplay, but I never played it. And that game That game is sick.
That game is so much fun.
From what I
It
know
is.
of
No, it is. There's like a week that I think of where Corey and I played through that in his basement. And
Hell yeah, dude.
just listened to music. We listened to a thing called Love so many times that week.
Wow.
You know, by The Darkness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
I'll play it for you afterwards.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. You know the song.
I'm sure I do.
Yeah. It's really funny. It doesn't fit the game really at all, but yeah.
That's awesome. I'm
Just
here for it.
Put us in the mood.
Freshly picked Tingle's Rosy Rupeeland.
Better than
Phantom
Hourglass.
Hourglass, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And
Weird game. If you like Wario based games
and crafting.
And not much instruction, play this game.
Yeah, you could really enjoy it. It's a weird game. I could see some people really just being like, this is my favorite Zelda game. Not mine. But I could see someone saying that because it's so out of pocket.
It's super out of pocket, and honestly, the gameplay loop is pretty fun. And like once you start doing dungeony stuff, like boss fights are actually kind of cool looking. Not overtly complex from what I saw, but still fun, and like the scale threw me off guard. I was like, "Oh shit, that's a big boss," but it's fun.
Yeah,
Just weird as fuck.
it's a weird game. Are we ready to move on to our next game?
Yeah, I think I might play this one.
What did we decide on?
Contra 4, I believe.
Contra 4. I was thinking it was a Metal Slug game, so I'm a little bummed on that.
I would have also really enjoyed a Metal Slug game.
Let's see. Is there a Metal Slug game on the DS?
Oh, I'm
If
sure.
there is, we can just do that one instead.
Oh, fuck you, Contra.
Yeah, I'll just pull this one up.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it right there?
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
I got
go
it.
faster than me then. Metal Slug
Thank you.
DS.
Psh,
Oh.
Metal Slug 7, dude.
Yeah, I'm definitely down to do either or both.
Whew.
I'd rather just do 7. Metal Slug 7. The art is just so much better than Contra.
I don't disagree.
Contra just didn't look as good as I wanted.
So
it
not
to.
Contra 4, but Metal Slug 7.
Metal Slug 7.
Let's
Fuck
go.
you, Contra fans.
Well, there goes.
No, I'm just not. I'm not good enough for.
We don't have
Contra
enough people that listen to this
to
to have a percentage of people to lose.
no.
So
If I offended you, send us an email.
yeah, send us some hate mail.
pocketcastpodcast@gmail.com. We'll see you in 2 weeks, and we'll be talking about Metal Slug 7.
Or
Unless
not.
we have anything else we want to throw in here.
No, I don't got shit, dude. Both of these games were lackluster for me in my time of need. Just didn't have what I was looking for.
Yeah, that's
okay.
the best. That's the description of the podcast right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we like the games, we'll play them. If not, we'll bullshit and talk shit about those games.
Yeah. It was fun. I love doing it.
Yeah. See you guys next time.